Welcome and hello, everybody. This is Vision Untethered podcast, conversations with inspirational visionary leaders. My name is Jill Simonds, founder of Savvy. We turn overwhelmed founders into empowered leaders by building businesses that scale. We are a dedicated fractional leadership team executing vision, increasing businesses' value, and helping founders realize freedom. I'm honored to welcome our guest today, Rocky Foroutan, founder and CEO of LenderHomePage. Rocky founded the company with a vision to help mortgage professionals succeed through powerful, easy to use digital technology. Under his leadership, Lender Homepage has grown into a leading provider of digital mortgage solutions, supporting lenders and loan officers with websites, point of sale platforms, and online tools designed to improve the borrower experience and drive growth. Rocky, so excited to have you, your expertise, and to hear your story today and
Thank you,
share that with
Jill.
our listeners. Good to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Thanks. Great to be here. Excited to be here as well.
Yeah. First and foremost, what drives you? What is the purpose and passion in what gets you out of bed and excited every day in what you do, and especially in this industry that you serve?
I about 35 years ago, I was working for a company, and they sent me to this seminar to write what I want my life to look like. In terms of what kind of a person do I want to be? What do I want to do? And back then, as far as a job was concerned, I said my passion
Hmm.
is to run a very highly functional software company because
Mm.
I'm an engineer by discipline, and
Hmm.
I I'm a software guy, and
Hmm.
when I was younger, I was just fascinated by these gurus in software. I don't know what it is that some people are attracted towards poetry, some to music. I mean, I love both of those two things as well, but software was something,
Mm.
wow, my God, this is so cool. And a good software is like poetry. So I said, I really want to run a company where I can rub elbows with these smart guys and talk about
Yeah.
solving problems in software. And sure
Mm.
enough, I actually manifested it, and it became a reality. So that's what
Amazing.
drives me when
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
wake up in the morning. I don't think about
Hmm.
P&L. I don't think about making money. I
Hmm.
literally don't. I mean, I do. I shouldn't say that I don't. I do check our bank accounts and stuff, but
Sure.
and I also look at how many cards failed in the subscriptions. But that just what really excites me is this new feature we're working on. It
Yeah.
literally is what drives me.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Building, creating, solving a
create
problem,
creating
creative problem solving.
creating problems using our minds for what it's created for, using to solve
Hmm.
problems that are solvable.
Mm, that
Yeah,
is a good one. That's
yeah.
good. Yeah. And then how does that purpose then align with the unique challenges of scaling this business and bringing those solutions to problems into more hands and users?
Yeah, so as you might expect, running of a business is so much different than when you do things for hobby and or you're loving it, like you're high-fiving when you actually have to be able to get people to pay for what you've done. And people will pay for what you've done if it solves a problem for them. But then how do you find more of those guys that just paid you? And then how do you get more profitable so you can do bigger and better things? All of those things I kind of learned in the school of hard knocks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of fell into it, and then once I did, I said, "Oh, I need a guy that could cold call for me." And then I said, "Well, we need more of them." But then I said, "Cold calling is not the best use of our time. We need to do inbound." And then so all of those challenges, um, I and those challenges, I think, um, are really um, earned rather than handed to
Yeah.
us. Meaning, I mean, I could have taken if 50 additional business classes. I would have not learned because it's not what is. They say it's not what is said; it's what's heard. They could have given me all these lessons, but if I didn't hear it and the
Hmm.
way to apply it, I would have never done it. So I
Mm.
had to become ready to do all of
Yeah.
this stuff, right? And I
Hmm.
did. And I said, damn, how do these people, to this day, it amazes me on how people scale the way that they do. And
Hmm.
I'm not talking about the kind, I love the hockey stick ones where, the product
Hmm.
fit is so good, but they
Right.
don't mess up scaling it. That's the key. So the product is running, I mean, it's a runaway success, but they do a good
Hmm.
job scaling it. That amazes me. Because if it
Hmm.
were me, if I can have that kind of a product, uh, there's a good chance I might mess it up, you know. But for
Hmm.
them to bring in the right people and to do the right things, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
key.
Regardless of what the product is
Yeah,
and the success of that and how great the product itself is, it's only as scalable as the strength of the team and yourself to build the model and the structure within it to be a scalable solution beyond where it is today. So it's
correct.
a so much more depth behind that. Absolutely. Yeah. When you talk about learnings and business learnings and, taking classes versus just being in hands-on application of being a business owner, is there a pivotal failure that you've encountered in your business journey so far, and how did addressing it shape the growth for the company to move forward?
Yeah, I've had we've had actually three different major events that happened in the lifetime of Lender Homepage. First off, I had worked for about 17, 18 years for other companies before I started Lender Homepage. So I did pay my dues in corporate America and in a pretty intense kind of like I was a sales guy selling to Microsoft, Intel, Cisco Systems, Sun Microsystems. So I was selling at the peak of where the technology was at that time. And I was working for a company called Adaptec, which at the time was they positioned themselves as one of the pillars of computing. They did a lot of input output boards for PCs, like the hard drives and all
Mm,
that. So
okay.
I had learned what really preeminent looks like. I had seen the best of the best at, wow, look at these organizations, how they run their business, and they come from a place of abundance, and how everything is
Hmm.
just so well thought out. And then I'd also, when I started my business, it was just me in our bedroom, and then at nights working with India doing the web stuff, and then in the morning cold calling. So I had, I had seen the two extremes of
Yeah.
what it takes to learn. So uh, when I started my business in 2002,
Hmm.
I just kind of started it, and things went really well because we tailored to the mortgage business. And if you
Hmm.
remember pre-subprime meltdown,
Yep.
pre 2008, 2007,
Yes.
2008.
Yeah. The market crash. Hmm.
Yeah, but it had a huge run up that then caused the whole crash to come down with all the
Hmm.
mortgage-backed securities and stuff. So during that run up, everybody was a loan officer and everybody had a
Hmm.
lot of money to spend. And I was in that market, and we were so successful in doing what we were doing because like the market was such a tailwind for us. I mean, we were just crushing
Hmm.
it. And then comes this complete meltdown, which
Hmm.
we lost 65% of our customers in 2007 to 2008 because everyone
Hmm.
exited the business. There was no mortgage business in
Yeah.
2007, 2008. And that was our first pivot. We said, oh, so
Yeah.
it doesn't always go that way. So we had to decide. do we even want to stay in mortgage business, in the mortgage tech business, or do we want to just exit? Should I go back working for others? What do we want to do? So the first pivot was we had to make a decision, and that one was, okay, I don't know if you remember the concept of loan modifications, where people were stuck in these mortgages and they couldn't pay for it. So they said there's a concept of we'll modify your loan so that you don't have to pay the high payments. So at least you keep them and pay whatever you have. And that became
Yes.
a little mini industry. So we decided to go from building mortgage websites to creating a destination website for loan modifications and become a lead gen company, a lead generation company
Mm-hmm.
rather than. So we did that one pivot. Then we built, that was in '08. In 2013, I had to do another pivot because we
Mm-hmm.
did a consumer destination website with a lot of traffic. We built so much traffic using search engine optimization, SEO. There was a lot of organic traffic, and we were making money hand over fist. It was so great because there's all this free organic traffic coming to us, and we were monetizing it with making it
Mm.
leads and rate clicks and stuff. But then Google rolled out their new algorithm,
Mm-hmm.
which caused all of our rankings to be considered as gray market or gray practices, and no, so our site got penalized. So one day on a Monday, we have like 12,000 visitors coming to our site. On a Tuesday, we had 700. Like, we went down from 12,000 visitors a day to 700 a day. So we got wiped basically. There was our second pivot where we had to say,
Yeah.
oh, well, so we doubled down on the product. And then the last one has been about, how to just make this into a true SaaS company and
Right.
try to build out with EOS. So we've done three major pivots. Every time
Okay.
we've hit an obstacle, and they've been pretty intense pivots.
Absolutely. Yeah. Huge lessons learned, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you share a specific instance, whether related to those or otherwise, that you felt trapped by your own business and what strategies you implemented to create space for growth and scalability beyond yourself?
Uh, to be honest with you, I never looked at it like that. For me,
Mm,
initially, it was always a lifestyle business.
mm,
So the way that I went about it is if it's paying me more than what I used to make when I was working for these large companies, I'm still
yeah.
gonna stick with it. It was only in 2016, 2017 where I started looking at it as something that would be exitable or something that we've built equity in this and it can actually go somewhere. So yeah, I never really felt trapped per se. I would say, okay, we need to do a reduction in our team, and there's
Hmm.
still enough profits in there for me to kind of stay there. I wasn't ever felt like trapped. I never thought of it like that. I mean, I'll give it some thought after the podcast, and I'll email you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but my point is I never really felt trapped or I'm controlled
Hmm.
by this business kind of a thing. I was just kind of having
Hmm.
fun with it, and then I just kind of kept it fluid.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a gift for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Is there something that you would share as an indicator to you that a business owner may be too deeply involved in day to day and how that might limit the company's ability to scale or innovate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that one resonates with me. I know that, I don't know, maybe your listeners don't know, but the way that I know you and of you is because we had some discussions about your team helping our
Yes.
organization
Hmm.
help us get me working on the business instead of in the business and
Yeah.
to help us grow and give us space to do that.
Hmm.
There comes a time there comes a time when you're middle age, you say, what's the meaning of life? There's a time when you are a business owner, you say, there's got to be more to it than this. And so I had one of those moments because
Hmm.
in fact, I think what's left a big impression, and I don't know if your audience is familiar with the EOS, but the very first line of the EOS book says, "You're probably reading this book because you hit the ceiling," and uh,
Yeah.
it so resonated with me because uh, there's only so
Hmm.
much of you to go around, and
Sure.
the irony is that what I found out, as most of us do find out, is what I found out is was not only was I not uh, uh, helpful, I was actually adding more friction to my business by being
Mm.
involved, by being, I mean, people would
Hmm.
just, we got to a point that I basically uh, unempowered people to do things because they were saying, well, if I don't do it, Rocky's going to do it anyway. Like if I forget to respond to this customer, because he checks at 11 p.m. every night, he checks all the emails. Like he has all these email aliases, a copy of it goes to him. So if he doesn't see a reply all, he's going to do a reply all. But
Yeah.
I've come far from that. I cannot say that I've been cured. I am not, I've not been cured. I'm in remission. I'm in
There
remission
you
for
go.
a little bit, yeah. But
Okay.
sometimes I have flare-ups. Sometimes I have flare-ups to continue the metaphor, but I'm good. I think I'm on the right track. That I can say.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes. And sometimes just that self awareness of where things are, what that ceiling is for you, for your team, for your organization, and kind of seeing the path and clarity. Sounds like you do quite a bit and spend time in clarity for yourself and what's next, and ultimately centering down to what you opened up with, right? In terms of passion and purpose, what's going to get you excited about this and then make you, fulfill you out of this journey, and keeping clarity and alignment in that is key to just seeing the steps in front of you and what's required and having that self-awareness.
that's correct. Actually, I'm going to start doing a podcast a week because this very discussion is helping me by the type of question that you're asking. You're right. Like if that's it's bringing more clarity to me in real time. So kudos to you.
Wow.
Kudos to you, Jill.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Maybe we'll
yeah,
just call these like clarity break sessions
yeah,
and we
yeah,
can live stream a real breakdown clarity session. That would be helpful.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Well, good. With that too, I mean, yeah, we go deep, right, into emotional, mental, psychological factors involved in this too. So I'm curious for you, have there been any psychological barriers that have prevented you as a business owner from stepping back, from untethering in moments that maybe you've felt like you are, or just allowing your team to shine and to thrive and to grow, that you can point out and name what those barriers psychologically or roadblocks may have been for you?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's kind of a deep into the psyche kind of a question. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
believe that we are all, well, I should say we. I know that I'm wounded psychologically growing up, so certain things that shouldn't have been as important are made important in my mind. Some things that are important, I just kind of stuffed it down, and so I
Yeah.
believe that. Uh, I'm kind of a fear-based kind of a person, and by that I mean my fear is a little bit more than the healthy levels necessary to kind of survive. So I always kind of go to the doomsday scenario, or if I don't do this, it's gonna get messed up. If I don't personally do this thing, there's some of that for
Mm,
sure. Then
yeah.
there's some of the going back to the childhood wounds of I need validation. So as a leader, mixed
Hmm.
up with all of the other stuff. I need this validation. And look, this was
Yep.
my idea, or I put us on this path and all of that. So you combine those two toxic things, you're going to get a messed up person that's always in their business trying to, is either afraid that the business is going to go to hell and is also wants the credit. Not I say it that I do the
Hmm.
credit, but mine is so subtle. I come across as humble and when I'm talking to the team, but if I dig deep, I know that I need that validation from the team to say,
Mm.
"Oh, this is he's really our." So uh, it's not ruling my life, but it's still a lot of it is there. So those two have been
Hmm.
the primary drivers of why I don't let go. I say,
Hmm.
if I let go, who's going to care about my business as much as I do? Who is going to do that? I have
Right.
to make sure that. And then I also say, well, who's going to care enough to even try to innovate or try to come up with any of that?
Right.
As you know, we have these L10 meetings, and
Hmm.
uh, I I talk a lot in them, which I hate.
Oh.
But
Mm.
I've gotten better. I've gotten better. But
Hmm.
the thing is, uh, I I know the answer just from pure experience. And if I were to wait it out for like 3 minutes, the team will actually get to the same result that I was going to suggest. But I
Exactly.
never waited out. So,
Hmm.
and I hate myself for it. I go, shut the heck up. Wait to see what they come up with. That
Yeah.
way, you can rest assured that next time you're not here, they're always going to make the right decisions. How can you give them this
The confidence, the
the
space.
confidence
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
the whatever to do if you keep talking and if you give all the answers? And
Hmm.
so that's another third dimension of the
Oh
craziness
my
that
gosh.
I love. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've seen business owners across that entire spectrum too. Those that are, that see it, recognize it, and then in practice of upholding the habits to uncondition the team from just waiting for you to be the one to make the call, to make the answers, to have the answers, to have the decision. And those kind of, they'll mute themselves or they'll, are in stronger practice of that habit because now, the team has been conditioned to rely on that. Or if my suggestion isn't going to be maybe what you agree with, there's fear in that from the entire team, right? They're not going to have the right solution, suggestion, or maybe have the answer, even though they
Yes.
they likely do. So encouraging in that environment, I've seen people all throughout that spectrum, in that journey, and that self-awareness is the first step for sure.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah,
Self-awareness I have plenty of, but I think on that spectrum, I think I'm a four.
yeah,
I think I'm a 4 or 5 on actually letting the team play.
yeah,
Not a two,
okay,
but I'm not a 7 or 8 either. I'm a 5, maybe a strong 5. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I'm on my way, and
Hmm. Something you're working on.
I'm something I'm working on. That's right.
Okay. I'm going to follow up with you in next
Yeah,
quarter, Rocky. And
yeah. We should. I
is the
think
team speaking up more? Yeah, and we
absolutely,
can check in.
100%, 100%, 100%. That's right.
Yeah. I think a part of a big piece of that step too is calling it out together as a team, naming it in the team as well. Hey, I know that I tend to speak first, or if there's silence in any way, and I feel like I may know the answer, I'm going to share the answer. And I want us collectively as a team to have the safety and the trust in our team to know that the less I speak up, the more all of us grow together. And you may have a solution or an answer that is actually different and better, or worth a try. And just encouraging that within your team to not be afraid to share, speak up, and to keep encouraging it, or even just calling on them. Oh,
Yeah.
this sounds similar to maybe experience you have in this realm. What would you say we do here? and kind of start encouraging a little bit more of that engagement across the team in a healthy place. And even if it sounds like a dumb idea, it's kind of, to you is like creating that space to honor and respect and allow people to feel confident in sharing their perspective and all of their voices are heard. A big part of the L10, as you know, in the criteria is everyone's voices heard.
Yes.
Everyone spoke up. So some people are good about rating the meeting down a point or an 8 or taking off a point if they themselves weren't actively engaged in the conversation, but oftentimes that's when I think people miss. It's like, wait, did we hear perspective from everybody on solving this really tough issue? We didn't hear from so and so, so I give us a 9 today because I really would have liked to hear more of like what you thought. So that might help.
Yeah, no, that's
Just
great
some
advice.
pointers.
Yeah, we're actually not as bad as I make us sound. We're pretty healthy, and we're actually, as I said, we're doing 8s and 9s. It's more a question
Good, yeah.
of, it's more a question of me not having the patience to let the team
Mm,
organically uh, end
come
up
to a solution and
even ask the right question, right? So they have a
mhm.
pain somewhere, and I already know that we're asking the wrong question. It's just that I pay more attention to our business. I need to let them, like you said, it's great advice to create the space for them so that they on their own end up asking the right question. And then the answer is easy. What I do
Mm.
is they have this pain, and I go, oh,
Mhm.
that's arthritis immediately, instead of saying, well, it could be like tennis elbow or something like that. And
Yeah.
I have to let them get to, it's not
Yep.
just here. I've also felt it here. And then once they do that, they go, oh, it's arthritis. I gotta go see an arthritis doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
It's
jump
naming the root.
in.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, I'm going to name what this is. I struggle with that, Rocky. I do too.
Yeah.
Because we've seen this game and
Yes.
uh we've seen the movie before. We've seen it play out or we already knew of the issue or it's creeping up again. Like it's something that hasn't really fully resolved somewhere. And we kind of know of it, even though we haven't all collectively as a team articulated what's at the root of it. And I have to hold my tongue as well
Yeah.
because we all collectively want to arrive at the root of it in a way that allows the entire team to get there to process in their own timing. I struggle with that patience too. I have very quick start pace of like, wait, no, what are we talking about? It's this.
Yes. Yes.
And
And
so,
and I so appreciate you being transparent and also calling yourself out on that, because sometimes I go, am I just a jerk or
yeah.
other people? But when I'm also in a Vistage group, so I know that my Vistage colleagues are also like me. They're just, but we forget that
Hmm.
our job is to create and empower leaders, not to solve problems. My job is, so if I jump to
Yes.
conclusion, I've solved the problem, but I'm not doing my job, which is to create leaders. My job is
Yeah,
to create leaders, not to solve problems. It used to be solve problems when I was a one-man shop or two-man shop,
exactly.
but now I
Yeah.
have to do leaders. So this very podcast is bringing so much clarity to me. I'm just like blowing up. I'm going to be like the nicest guy going into my next L10. They're going to say, "What happened to you?" I'm going to say,
There we go. Yeah.
I did the untethered, the
Yeah.
untethered
Vision Untethered podcast.
Vision Untethered podcast. That's right.
Yeah. We can record one every week if you want, Rocky. We'll just keep it on
We
repeat.
commiserate on our character flaws. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, it's a very valid point in a progression when it comes to, the founder role, being the chief of everything and being that decision maker, being the one that's solving all the problems, making the decisions to now empowering and elevating leaders around us is it's a continual development. It's never finished. We've never fully arrived. We're constantly learning. Humans are extremely complex and you throw the mix and dynamics of varying personalities and leadership and types all in the mix of a team, and you're continually doing that work. So it's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you're in Vistage as well. That's a powerful community for myself as well, because yeah, it's what I love about a peer community like that is working on your business, yes, but a lot of it just comes down to ourselves. It just
Yeah.
comes down to where we are in our own way, where we are in our team's way, and the patterns, habits, things that we continually have to work at in order to to elevate those leaders around us and step aside and step out of their way and allow others to lift and rise with the tide. So it's
Yeah.
good that you're doing that. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what about, so you talked a little bit about EOS. Sounds like that's something that your team is well familiar with and running on, which is amazing, incredible tool and system. Um, how can a business owner and their team design systems and processes that allow the company to thrive without your constant oversight? How has that system allowed you even more so to ensure sustainability and growth in the team at scale?
One of the things that EOS has brought to the table for us is this concept of accountability chart and
Hmm.
the whole concept of accountability. So
Yeah.
all I ever wanted when running my business pre-EOS was who's responsible for this or who's accountable for this thing so I don't have
Hmm.
to worry about it. So
Right.
by clarifying what we really need out of a particular department and have a
Hmm.
human being who gets it and wants it and has the capacity to grow with the business, right?
Hmm.
What better thinking this guy wants to do that and he gets it also, let him do it. Why are you doing it? So by putting a person who gets it and wants it and also has
Mm.
the capacity to grow, by put them on a department, then I can relieve that whole 50 kilogram weight off my, so that one comes off. And then I give it to another department and that one comes off. And as they come off, and to use your words, it gives me space to think
Mm.
more about where we should be going or where we should go and connect the dots in the industry and try to come up with a more of a cohesive, say, strategy, for lack of better terms, on our, 1 and 3 year plans and all that. So it kills two birds with one stone. First, I've got a guy that's
Yeah.
dedicated to handling that department. He's dedicated. He's not half time like I was, part time. Two,
Yep.
I now have all that extra time to do the best use of my time, which is, I look at the business in a different way than, say, our frontline tech support guy. So
Yep.
it's the best use of my time to think about where we should be going. So that all spells scale to me, right? I mean, you're
Hmm.
you're scaling because you're now growing with the right people at the right job.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Full ownership.
full ownership, accountability chart has been,
Mm.
the concept of accountability
Yeah.
has been a very big one in scaling our business. People are accountable for what they do and
Yeah.
they just deliver.
That's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, that's everything, right? It goes down to the basics of who first, starting with who,
yeah,
not how are we going to solve this? What is it we're trying to figure out? What do we do about this? If we start with who fundamentally at the root first, who owns this? Okay, this is your realm. This is an issue pointed to something within the business that is ultimately your responsibility, the outcomes of that. Are we missing a system? Are we missing a process? What are we not seeing here?
yeah,
Where is there inconsistency or lacking or a gap, whatever that might be? If we start fundamentally with who, that the accountability chart is the most powerful tool. That's always where we start, right? It's like,
yes,
who is responsible? Who owns what? Do we have that covered? Without that, regardless of what amazing data reports, scorecards, processes you have, nothing is going to move forward if somebody doesn't hold the ownership for the outcome of that scorecard, for the completion of that step in the process. Consistency, repeatability, all comes down to the leader that owns it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
Actually, on that point, I have something that I think is worth mentioning. Right before the call, before we started the record button, I was telling
Mm-hmm.
you about this one position that we had, a person that had knew everything mechanically about how to get that job done. She was a
Mm,
unicorn. She knew everything, that the market and all of that, but
mm-hmm.
she didn't have the will to do it, or she was just not doing it. And the
Mm-hmm.
component that you're talking about connects us back to the core values. And I always say, when you start out with good ingredients, the food is going to taste good no matter what you make with it, because the ingredients is a fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh onions, garlic, a little bit of all of that. If everything is fresh and good, no matter what you make with it, it's going to taste great. And to your
Mm-hmm.
point, uh,
Mm-hmm.
well, how do we determine what's fresh? Is that's the core values. And so we have certain core values in our, which actually is the
Yes.
root of everything, root of how we hire the who's. We messed
Mm-hmm.
up. We actually have in our interviews, we have a people analyzer in real time. So the people who are
Yeah.
on the interview, we go, do you think she, the person that we hired, fooled us? We basically got
Mm-hmm.
fooled. I mean, it does happen every once in a while, but
Sure.
one of them is passionate to serve, the other one is pursue of excellence, the other one is get the
Mm,
stuff done. These are all our core values, and she just
mm-hmm.
didn't end up getting the stuff done, or was not passionate to serve, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's once you get the right the who gets on the bus, then there's no stopping you. You can go wherever you want. You can make whatever stew you want to make, because the ingredients are fresh and are good. So yeah.
Mm. That's such a good way to put that. I love the correlation with food analogies too. I do that a lot as well. Like cooks in the kitchen or too many hands in the kitchen, and regardless
Yeah.
of the recipe and how we have to decode things and the ingredients we start with.
Yeah.
And that speaks a lot to, especially the leadership team, as goes the leadership team. So, those fresh ingredients, if you're starting with hands down, undeniable core values match individuals, that team can do anything together. If you've
Yes.
got a perfect people analyzer leadership team, and if you don't, looking to the issues within the business or the inconsistency or the pain points or that ceiling, start there, right? There's likely something in a people in the people realm. 70% of this or more of the issues are going to point back to who owns it,
Yeah.
who's lacking ownership, who's not a core value fit, whatever that might be. But the strength and those ingredients of a leadership team, there's incredible power in that, because as goes the leadership team in the organization, the rest of the company follows. The rest of the teams are, that is the standard, this is the bar, and it's evident when somebody's not matching up to that. So, really good analogy there too. I like how you put that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Consider that my
Well,
gift to you.
thanks. You are a gift, Rocky. Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of
So are,
insights.
yeah, so are you. I mean, it's been a great it sounds like therapy, but it's a podcast, so uh
Well, fun. I'm glad I can have that effect in a positive way.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And give you some homework, it sounds like, too. So, some accountability and some homework to stay aligned with where it is you're going, and, the needs that the team has of you. You're doing amazing work. So,
Yeah.
if others want to learn more about Lender Homepage or connect with you as a founder, business owner, where's the best place to find you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm also, my email is Rocky, Rocky, just like in the movies, Rocky at lenderhomepage.com.
Hmm.
Rocky at lenderhomepage.com. You can just send me an email. I would love to commiserate with anyone else who's going through what I'm going through, or
Yeah.
get inspired, or get
There you go.
inspired. Yeah,
There you go.
the
Yeah.
flip side of everything is always a real thing for me. Or get inspired together, because what do they
There you
say?
go.
Misery shared is halved, and joy
Yes.
shared is doubled. So yeah, either double
There
down
you
or
go.
half. Yeah,
Yeah. Commiserate and then turn that into inspiration and action. That's a good
that's
way to
right.
put it.
Make
Yeah.
lemonade out of lemon. That's right.
hmm Well, thank you everyone so much for listening in. Rocky, complete joy to have you. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much, Jill. I appreciate it.